All right, so we need to make a cylinder that will fit perfectly inside this existing cylinder here, or this circular shape. So what I'm going to do is create a sketch on this plane, and when you do that, you'll get this the circle shape in here. Let me go ahead and turn the front reference on, so we can get some sense of how thick this inner circle needs to be. So I'm going to go to Sketch and then select Offset and grab this circular curve here and just do a little click drag just like that, and it'll be automatically lined up. And now I can do a press pull and just kind of push it back and hit OK. And when I do that, it's going to automatically hide that sketch that we just made. So let's take a look at the reference, a little sketch back here, or the reference image, I mean. And I think that looks okay. And since we're over here, let's go ahead and add in the barrel. I'm going to turn the sketch back on so I can get back to this circular curve, right click and go to Edit Sketch. And we'll just do the same thing here. Now, even though this is kind of offset, to my eye, that looks a little wonky, so I'm going to center it. So we'll go to Sketch and Offset. And in this case, I'm going to make a couple of these, so we'll do one more offset. Like that, perhaps. Stop sketch. And press pull. And I'll just kind of move this back a bit. And hit OK. And now we'll need to manually hide that sketch. But that should work out OK. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back now. So again, the proportions here are not really ideal. I think what I'm actually going to do is maybe modify the canvas a little bit. I think I can scale it from this view, yeah. So we're getting something that's just a little bit closer so that I can get this cut lined up more proportionally. I think that looks good. So we'll make a new sketch here. And we'll just go ahead and kind of outline this cut here. Now, what I'm going to do is it's going to be a little bit tricky to get it exactly the same on both sides. So I'm actually going to make myself a center line. And then I'll use that to mirror my one side of this. So I don't have to worry about it being perfect on both sides. So I'm going to make a line. And let's see. So I think I need to sort of assume that this is actually kind of where that is. So just kind of draw this form in here. And then from here, I will click on the center line. I'm going to hide my geometry for just a minute. And I'm not sure where this circular shape came from, but we definitely don't need it. Looks like I might be missing a line there. So again, it doesn't line up perfectly with the reference, but I think in this case, it's a compromise that we're just going to have to make. So now I need to mirror this. So I will select mirror, and then we've got the objects and the mirror line. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the sketch stuff that I just made. I'm actually going to cancel that. I think I've got a little bit of a constrained geo-based line there, so that should work better. So let me do that one more time. We'll do a mirror. And I will select all of these edges. And then we'll go to mirror line. And I'll select this guy and hit OK. So now I need to probably make this, I'll just go ahead and close it off. So from there to there. Now that should have created a solid shape. Let me delete this edge here. We may not have a welded intersection, and it might also be something up here. So let me go ahead and delete these. And I'll just try this. There we go. Okay, so we can hit stop sketch now. Turn our geo back on. And I'm going to hold, do a right click, press pull, and then left click, hold, and select the profile. And we'll just pull it out a little bit. Set this to one side's fine, and I'm going to make it a new body so that I can actually move it prior to doing the cut. We just kind of scoot it this way. And I'll hit OK. And I want to make sure that I'm going to get a nice clean cut. So I'm going to pull that down a little bit further. And before I do my cut, I'm going to do a few fillets. So you can see how round, if I hide the geo for a second, how round that actually is right there. And it's a bit rounded here as well. In fact, all of these corners have various radiuses on them. So let's go ahead and do that prior to our cut. Modify fillet. So that's 2.5. I think 2 is probably a little closer. I'll hit OK. We'll do a repeat fillet. Kind of looking at these. These all feel, maybe they're not exactly the same, but they can probably be the same value. So I'll just go ahead and grab all of these edges here. And we'll try like a radius of 1. That's too much. 0.5. There we are. All right, so now we'll go ahead and do that combine. We'll make this a cut. And there we are. So on this particular pistol, the hammer is internal, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But if we look at the top view here, let me hide the geo. We can see there's actually kind of an angled cut there on the back. So let's go ahead and do that real quick since we're looking back here anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and make a little line like that, and then sort of snap it to the origin. Then make another line, which is also going to be on the origin, so that I can do a mirror. So that will be here in Sketch. We'll go to Mirror. Select the 2 edges to be mirrored, and then the mirror line. Do this guy and hit OK. And now I want to go ahead and make it into a shape. There we are. We don't need this guy anymore. So I can do a stop sketch there and turn the bodies back on. Do a press pull. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, hit OK, and scoot it up a bit. And I think it may be angled. Let me take a look at the side view here. Might be a little bit hard to see. So there's definitely the original angle, but it doesn't look quite like it's like an additional sort of bevel coming this way. Let me see if I can grab the rear 3/4 view that I took. All right, so I can see there is a little bit of a slant there and it's flat on the back. So I think this is going to take just a little bit more polishing before we can do that cut. So I'm going to go ahead and handle that in the next video.